Good afternoon, friends. This is something that a lot of people, especially Muslims, have an issue with in the Bible, and it's something that people don't understand because they don't read it in context. Not many people have read the Old Testament. So when somebody brings up, perfect example, that if Jesus is the God of the Old Testament, why did he command Moses to ethnically cleanse the Canaanites and the Amalekites? Right? Their claim is God commands the Israelites to destroy other nations. That was often linked to judgment against extreme. This is the claim that God commands the Israelites to ethnically cleanse nations that didn't worship him. That is ultimately false, friends, and don't let this false gospel be preached. Here is what truly is going on in the name of Jesus. God commands the Israelites to destroy other nations, and this was often linked to judgment against extreme wickedness that the other nations committed. Their wickedness included child sacrifice, mass murder, waging unjust wars, sexual immorality, and worshiping idols. I'll give you guys a perfect example. In Joshua, right? In Joshua chapter 6, when Israel destroys Jericho and kills, right? It says that the Israelites in Joshua kill the men, women, children, and the cattle and dedicates it to the Lord. Many people say, look, it's saying it right here that God commissioned Joshua to go into Jericho, kill men, women, even children that are innocent, right? And he praises the Lord. He gives it all to the Lord. Well, there's two things wrong with that. And let's go into the first one. There is something called a Near Eastern hyperbole. Near Eastern hyperboles were heavily used during that time period. A perfect example is that later on in the passage of Joshua and Judges, which are connected, we read that these Amalekites and Canaanites and Philistinites, there was still many of them around. Israel did not literally kill all of them, because you can see in the very next chapter, in the very next verse, if you actually read Joshua and Judges and Samuel and Ruth, we can see that there were still Canaanites, Amalekites, Philistinites all over the place. Even the house of Benjamin that betrayed Israel, they were still abundantly around. God even commissioned Israel to give them wives so they can reprocreate.